so very blind, and I thought it was gonna make it this time.
Yeah, I ain't had a drink, yeah, I smoke. Yeah, you think I need you, but I don't. Just left out Dubai with all my folk. Open water, my location is remote. Shout out Yachty, but this ain't a little boat. This some shit I wrote about when I was broke. See, the power of the mind is not a joke. Man, I said that I would do it and I did. Used to get leftovers out the fridge. Nobody was famous where I live, till I got it jumping at the crib. Took a lot to be able to give. I mean, I don't usually do this unless I'm drunk or I'm high, but I'm both right now. Got me talking about my life. I don't usually do this unless I'm drunk or I'm high, but I'm both right now.
Yo, what's going on? Doves cry, huh? I don't even like Prince like that. However, he is a great one. And that song is very fitting for today's broadcast of from NPC the game. Do women like emotional men? Crying when happy. My second aunt passing. And this, are you sick of Kendrick yet on this Leo moon? So what's going on? Everyone in the chat, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here and listening. What's going on, Murphy? Good to see you. Machete, big ups. This London man, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. What's going on? Yeah. This yeah, it's good. Whoever dropped the link, thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to brother Jack Talcott. He says the link was dropping. I was wrapping up. Good to see folks turning in. Blessings to NPC the game. All is gathered. Yeah, man. Yeah, I really enjoy it when people come over and check it out. And then when we do, and if we do drop the link, I always learn a lot because this is a cool question. Do women like emotional men? All these things that we talk about are questions. And it's not like it's like yes, women uh, love emotional men, or women. The definitive is women are disgusted by emotional men. Well, some are, some aren't. That's the thing. I really see that it depends on the person. And as a man, if you're an emotional man, if you cry, whether it be from sadness or tears of joy, uh, that's a good thing because it shows you that you have the full gamut of experience in life. This life that we live, which is infinite and finite at the same time, more finite the way we see it. So why not express how you feel? Just don't be surprised, man, that if you do cry in front of a woman, especially your woman, your partner, uh, she might she might be uncomfortable with it, like Alex was saying earlier. She might be uncomfortable. She might be weirded out. You know, she might be feel more insecure that you're doing something like that in front of her, and about insecure about the choice she made as having a man. She may remember that, and while another women might love it, they might eat it up, right? They might eat it up. It just all depends. Shout out to Rebecca Joe, look at with the voice of reason. Nothing wrong with showing emotion. I just don't want to cry, baby. Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, you don't want to cry, baby. Shout out to Shadow Buddha, who's not a crybaby. I've never seen him cry before. Yeah. Shout out to the twin Shadow Buddha. Speaking of crybaby, that was an interesting movie by the great John Waters from Baltimore, Maryland. Um, John Waters, that movie Crybaby, was Johnny Depp played a crybaby, a rebel without a cause, and he was always crying all the time. It was a weird in terms of aesthetics and plot line and stuff, but it was like a musical too. But the dude was a hero like James Dean, but he was always crying all the time. See, all those things would get you to cry, man or woman. You know, you're mistreated, you're misunderstood. You probably most people probably walking around crying inside. Tracy Lord trying to ex porno star who reinvented herself in a legitimate career. This is before only. Hmm. I mean, yeah, it's a wild movie. John Waters, like I said, is a crazy director. What's the metaphysics behind that? The symbols behind that? Dude's crying. He's a rebel without a cause. He's antisocial, yet he cries. Yeah. What's he crying about though? Is it just because he's been shitted on, or is it because he's happy sometimes? How many of you have cried when you're happy before? That's something that people forget about, I think. or don't really put themselves to have access to set themselves up. I think someone that does that needs to know about nostalgia and how nostalgia, which is like reminiscing about the past events that are very uh, life changing to you, you know, that type of stuff. Like, yeah, your first son being born, or um, that'd be a happy moment, right? Yeah, happy and also relief because uh, 9 months in the mother's womb, your wife's womb, and you can't really do nothing about it. Ooh, that could be a relief for the papa once that baby comes out healthy. Yeah. So shout out to Hurricane Paro. Salute to you early on the chat. Yeah. Oh, our pool. What's up, man? Emotional shouties. Yeah. Shorty swing my way. Sure looks good to me. Says it depends. Look within with the comment. The number one shooter, hardest worker in the metaverse. It depends on the woman. I suppose biologically they would want a man who could handle trauma and keep pushing. Hence why they like scars. It shows you can survive an attack psychologically. Yeah, yeah, and he said keep it pushing. I mean, it seems like we're using the baby uh, example. He's constantly getting tested and putting himself in situations which make you not find courage, but forge courage. You gotta make it happen. And I guess he was doing it while he was crying. There's a moment in the movie Saving Private Ryan where they get Matt Damon, who plays Private Ryan, gets a letter saying that his brother passed away, and or Tom Hanks tells him his brother passed away, and he goes, "Go ahead and take a moment, and deal with your grief. Basically, go ahead and cry, whatever you need to do. You go away and cry." And he did that. He went away and cried. Uh, Come to find out, oh no, excuse me, it was another Private Ryan, not the Private Ryan. It was another Private Ryan that they mistakenly gave the information that his brothers died. Right? And he's like, "Oh, my brother was only in elementary school. How could he die?" And they're like, "What?" But they told him to go take a moment. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta take a moment. Do it in private, right? I think Maron Gaines was talking about that recently in Fresh and Fit.
Months ago.
When's the last time you cried?
Yeah, no, I mean, my grandma passed away a few months ago. I haven't actually shared this, and yeah, I went on. There was a girl over. I went over and I went over on the balcony. I cried by myself, and I saw her coming. I was like, "Fuck it," wipe that shit up immediately. And I told her, leave me alone. And the reason why is because even though it sounds so great to be able to open up in front of your girl, I understand that the female hard wiring is literally designed to look for security and be repulsed by inadequacy. So by you crying, you don't know how your girl's gonna react to it. So what I tell guys is,
he didn't say just doesn't like it. He said repulsed. That's a great word. My partner had told me back in the day, because it's one thing to don't like someone. When you're repulsed by them, it's like you're sickened by them, right? In order to manifest those type of feelings from somebody else, you got to have a real loathing for them and what they're about, or the way they're acting.
instead is go ahead and be vulnerable with a man. No homo. And the reason why is because guys that you trust, because men understand the masculine experience. Women don't.
When's the last time you cried?
Yeah, no, I mean, my grandma passed.
Yeah, grandma passed away. Yeah, my second aunt passed away on my wife's side a week ago. She was 82 years old. Aries, April 5th born, and she was the first relative I met when I got married because all my wife's family they lived in Taiwan, and we were living in California in Oakland. And her mother, my wife's mother, and her sister-in-law, which is the second aunt that passed, they came to visit us in deep East Oakland in the hood, and it was awesome because she was cool. She was kind. I call her my little Ewok with the little like eyes, electric eyes of coal. She was always like spunky and stuff and cool. And mind you, and she tried her hardest. She was like in her late 70s, and she was already trying to learn English and stuff so she can communicate with me and whatnot, and enjoy her experience, her first experience in America, in the wilderness of North America. And I thought that was pretty amazing. And so she passed uh, last week, and during the Lunar New Year, and we went to go. My wife and my son, we went to go see her, pay our respects to her Sunday. And it's about Taichung's. It's the second largest city in Taiwan. It's about I don't know, almost 2 hours away from where we live. And we went to go visit her. And in Taiwan, their culture, their spirituality in general is a combination of Buddhism and Taoism and local folk religion. And when someone dies, usually passes on, they make a beautiful, elaborate altar. I guess you can pay companies come when they put these altars up, but you have to supply the picture of the person who's deceased, and yeah, you have flowers and and there's chairs around there, and there's decorating. It looks like you're in heaven actually with the curtains on the side. A lot of times people put it in their first floor area of their house because our houses are like 4 stories, and people come and pay their respects and help that soul along in their journey back to the other side or wherever they're going. And they say mantras or they play music with the mantras playing. And what happens is interesting that the relatives leave food as an offering to feed them in their journey, or water, even have a toothbrush for them. And every 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. they leave food for their relative that passed, and they leave it there so they can eat it, metaphysically eat it. And they leave it there, and what they do is after a while they have these 2 coins look like quarters, and they have a dot on each quarter, and they flip the quarter, and if one side has a circle on it and the other doesn't, it's like, okay, they're telling us. We ask them if did you eat enough, if you're cool. And if one comes up circle and the other one not, okay, they're done, right? But if they both come up circle, they still want to eat, I guess, right? So that's how they do it. And when they bring the food away, the family eats it, so it's not wasted and whatnot. So yeah, it's very fucking metaphysical, and like even you can say new agey in a way, right? And it's a legitimate religion, Buddhism, Taoism, uh, Chinese folk, you know, and Christians, I've noticed they say a lot of weird things about astrology and numerology and stuff, when in fact, whole cultures and dynasties that have been around since time immemorial have been using these things in their religion for years, and still today. And then going in that altar and paying my respects to Jo Ma, so we call her Jo Ma. It means uh Jo Ma. Is second in Mandarin. Aunt, because there's 7 aunts. Because there's 7 brothers that have in my wife's family, and 7 of the brothers married 7 women, and she was the second aunt, matriarch. And so her name's Jo Ma. That's what we call her. Jo Ma is the man's father's wife, or aunts. So you saw Jo Ma, and I was thinking about her, all the good times we had, because she always like was really kind to me, and like we laugh and stuff when we see her. And I was but I wasn't crying or anything. It wasn't until my son saw her daughter, her oldest daughter, um, which big sis, so they call her Jie in Mandarin, means big sister, and like his aunt, and she hugged him, and he hugged her, and yeah, that made me kind of sad because that's the only yeah, that's the one place where we come all the time that my son knows. Even though he has a big family, he really made a connection with Urja, and he's only 6, so and this channel is for him. I heard somebody say like it's kind of, I'm paraphrasing, like corny or that people make a channel for their kids or whatever, or weird, they're weirded out. But hey, man, this is it, because whether you whether you look at it that way or not, this is literally a public record that we all have, that anyone in our family or generation can look at later on as a record of your time spent here on this planet, you know? And I'm glad that my son had a chance to spend time with his aunt, and seeing him interact with her daughter got me a little yeah, almost teary-eyed, I'll say, you know. So hey, anyway, what's up, Bex? Good to see you. Condolences. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Look within. I got Myron Gaines' face on this shit the whole time. Yeah. Uh Keep it moving, huh? So what's going on to Preston? Yeah, you tired? You sick of the fakeness? Yeah. Fake. The fakeness. There's a lot of fakeness, right? With the over identification of what we think is ourself. This image that we try to uphold, that we use all our energy and awareness to make sure people never see us take an L, take a loss, which makes you even look even cornier and stupider, you know? Because it's not you. You're spending all that, people are spending all that time doing that, when in fact, if they're totally engaged in the present moment, which is a gift, they're not going to look corny. They're going to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah. Safe. Okay. See. What is that? The movie Safe. I'm always down to look at new movies. But here we go. Well, there's two. There's one in 95 and there's one in 2012. I have a feeling it's this one.
How you feeling?
I still have this head thing.
What the hell is going on here?
It's in the air, in the water, in our homes.
Oh my God.
It cannot be seen, cannot be heard, cannot be stopped.
We can turn it on and off like a switch. We just don't know how to make it go away.
Oh.
It is not alien.
Go back!
It is not viral.
You are perfectly healthy. You might want to consult someone.
A psychiatrist.
It is not natural to this earth.
Your family and friends tell you that you're overreacting.
Where can you go when no place is?
Safe. It's out there.
Where can you go when you uphold this false sense of self? Wherever you go. Yeah. And you feel like you can't be yourself. I guess the only way to go is inward, right? And cultivate a space of power and creativity and joy, which will make you lucky. And be able to express yourself. This is what today's about. It's that Leo moon, man. Express yourself, like NWA says. Don't keep it in. Don't keep it in. Chat's kind of quiet right now at the moment, but I'll express myself. Comment from Look Within. Yeah, numerology is older than astrology for what I reach, which makes sense. Got to be able to count the stars. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Just like astronomy and came probably before astrology. Yeah, now, you say you talk about astrology and people get freak the fuck out. They left all quick. Um, so do women actually like emotional men or men who cry? Well, you let me know. You already let me know in the chat already, right? You know, just wanted to put it out there. I'll give you my opinion. I already did. I'll reset it again. Some do, yes. Some do. There is some women that do like emotional men who aren't afraid to show their emotions. However, don't be surprised, fellas, that if you do, they get disgusted by you or feel uncomfortable. You know? Well, yeah, that was that comment up here from Alex. She said, NPC, hey there. And I don't get, don't like women, I guess emotional men. I don't like anyone crying when overly happy, as it freaks me out. But same with sad, though. I can appreciate it at funerals and such and traumas. I think it's funny. Yeah, people are funny. Yeah, people are very funny. They say you should live in interesting time. You should live in funny times. All this stuff is a funny joke. On the panel verse, this Las Vegas trip, which I'm glad that they had the people that went had a lot of fun when they were there, and all the analysis and armchair quarterbacking. Oh man, that shit is funny because it's cringe. Because why are we so deeply involved in that when most people have nothing to do with it? I think it's because people rather see other people fail and be miserable than look at the miserableness in them. Right? What's up, OTW? Yeah, good to see you, man. Who is motivating me to not try to talk so much shit, at least online, about people, keeping it positive, you know? Yeah. Oh man. Let's say. Like I thought they came by to say hi. I'm just charting some stuff on. But I'm like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know you're definitely in for some big good changes. Look within. Definitely. I'm excited for you and yours, you know? Yeah. So, what do you think, OTW Live? Do you think women like emotional men, or do you ever cry when you're happy? I have a feeling you have. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Because men growing up, more or less, were told as boys, don't cry, suck it up. When you fall and hurt yourself at the playground. While little Sally at the playground at the swings was told, "It's okay, honey. We'll patch you right up." And on the way to the elementary school nurse office after the fall, we're told these mantras of programming. Yeah. Are you teaching your kids these type of things, not to cry? Well, we don't want to cry, baby. I don't want to cry, baby. I guess if you have to let it out, let it out. Yeah. Do these men who cry when they overly cry when they're younger? Did they become the type of man that will cry in front of their wives? And if they do cry, will their wives respect them? What do you think? Yeah. No, he never cried when he was happy. Only when he's very sad. Yeah. Yeah. Only when he's very sad. I think the times I've cried when I'm happy, it's been more recently, like when when I'm with thinking about my son, and I think it's like a tragedy happy cry in the sense that uh it's such a great life being alive and like my life as it is, but then on top of that I have a son who's like a mini me doing his own version of himself, and I'm like, oh, we're only here for the finite time, but I'm happy we're having a good time. But I guess I'm like so happy that he's so precious to me, and that makes me like a weird mix of being extremely happy, but then also a little sad, I guess, too, because I really don't want anything bad or anything to harm him, even though that's part of life, right? Falling down and getting back up. Yeah. It's an interesting thing. It's like I was thinking about last night when my mother passed away when I was 23. She had ovarian cancer. She was only 42. And she fought cancer like for 11 years with chemotherapy. And I was lucky enough to be with her in the room when she passed away. Like, it's lucky enough, but also tragic enough. That's a comedy, right? Those Greeks were right about something. Tragedy and comedy are almost one in the same. Thin line between what love and hate is a line I'll keep saying on this broadcast at least once an episode. So I was lucky enough to be with her in the room when she passed away. And I noticed when she was taking her last breath, she looked up with her head in the hospital bed at the hospice and looked in the corner of the wall and was staring at something like it was there. And then she looked over to me and was trying to say something at that point, but the words weren't really coming out. And then she looked over to the corner of the wall where she was looking at it, and it looked like something epic she was looking at. And I swear to you not, the the room felt like literally got brighter. And then she passed. And when she passed, all that tension and pain and tightness of her face was released. And she looked like she was damn near 13 years younger. Yeah. Praise God. To be in such a wonderful, beautiful place, this place called Earth, you know? Yeah. Shout out to you and your moms. Alexander said mine died at 40. Wow, so young. So young and precious. Godheart Guardian. Comment. One of the most conscious mods there is. Look within, same age, 42, 2020, 2011. Wow, that's 11 years after my mom passed in 2000. Wow, so what is this, 40, 42? These people make it to our loved ones to guide us there. You know, like Tony Soprano said, our mothers are a vehicle to get us here, whereas here, this time and place. And when they drop us off like a bus, some of us want to go back in and are chasing that feeling or that undoable activity till either your mom drops or gets sick of you, huh? Yeah. Hopefully they get sick of us as grace, you know? Yeah. Big blessings. chat. What's going on, Gahar? Much love. Yeah. Good to see. Oh, Divine Sparks. 313, the hardest working woman in the paddleverse. Yeah. Take a rest, my dear, sometimes. You work so hard. Yeah. Shima Alexander, being here at the hospice, being there at the hospice to help usher a soul to the other side is most like birth. You never know the time of entry or departure. Absolutely. I like how you put that. It is ushering in the soul to the next life or to wherever they're going, right? The soul, the memories of what was and what is and what will be. I like what Brother Jock Talcott says. This is when people leave the panel and say, goodbye. I'm gonna interrupt what you guys are saying. This is not like an airport. You don't have to announce your departure and arrival. But sometimes you do, I guess, if you're a loving family member, especially if you're only in your 40s and you're passing on. God bless them. That's an appropriate time to cry, I think. Yeah. And sometimes these releases, these crying sessions are like a purge. It's like a buildup of stuff that's there. I remember the first and only time I did psilocybin mushrooms. I took an eighth, and for the first couple hours, I was just thinking once again of my mom and my family. It was around Christmas, and I was just, I was crying a little bit, a lot actually, keep it 100. And then once I got all that stuff out, the angst, I took a beautiful walk down to the beach, Pacific Ocean, because I was living in Pacifica in the hills. And then, I was watching the ocean, the universe express itself by breathing in and out through the pull of the tide. Yeah. And then I walked back up and watched Hotel, what's it called? Hot Tub Time Machine with my housemate, one of my housemates that was growing Girl Scout cookies and shit. That shit was fun. Yeah. But yeah, it's good to let it out sometimes, huh? Alexander was a comment. It's like death doula at hospice and honor, but virtually exhausting for sure. Yeah, this is going on as we speak, fam. Before I would preface myself, like I don't mean to be a downer, but yeah, man, this is part of life. Death is part of life, but let's do it with grace and like an adult. Have some fun with it, but it's still exhausting. My grandmother passed away, and she was in good spirits, better spirits than my mom. But when her kidneys finally shut down, she was almost like in a coma and whatnot. And I remember at this time, I was taking a Native American Studies class at College of San Mateo, right by Solar City, Elon Musk's company, and GoPro. And I was reading about consciousness and Carlos Castaneda. And also I was reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead, Timothy Leary's version. And I remember going there and writing out mantras and narratives and visualizations from my grandma to help her soul transfer to the bardos or stages of consciousness as she passed. And it was definitely an empowering experience with me because I love my mom for sure, like more than anything. However, my grandmother was the person I really adored. I got the Gemini in the second house, what you value in life, and she was a Gemini. And you know what, too? It's like my favorite quarterback growing up was Steve Young on the San Francisco 49ers, and he was great. But, however, the greatest quarterback was Joe Montana on the 49ers. Yet, Steve Young was still my favorite quarterback. So I guess that's the thing about my grandma, my mom type of thing. And I know people say you shouldn't play favors with your kids or who you love, but come on, bro. We have love for everyone. However, there are some people that, are a little bit higher priority for us for whatever reason. That's what I think. You know, uh, let me yabbering. Oh shit. OTW is calling. I cried because of really bad tooth. Yeah, because when you have the really bad toothache, there's no way around it. It's literally in your mouth, throbbing and throbbing. Yeah. Uh, yeah. That's torture. So everyone, take care of your teeth. You know, you don't want to go there. But there is a relief in a sense when you do get when you're sick, whatever it be, and you do heal up. It makes you stronger. If you look at it as a level up, man, there's no stopping you. Alexander said I had to go to the ocean first birthday uh, without my mom. It was the only thing that made sense. The ocean is such a mysterious mama matrix that you have most people have no capacity of the power and the awness of the great sea, the great mother, the ocean, man. That thing is massive and beautiful, but also will teach you lessons about life and death. Right? Yeah. Remember this time when I was in Maui, Black Rock they call it, and I was swimming, snorkeling with my girlfriend at the time, and I thought I was a big shot. I was like, oh, I don't need my flippers, so I went out and was swimming and was snorkeling, having a good time. I've been wanting to see turtles all vacation, and I hadn't seen one yet. So I was, we're swimming. Then we go around because it's called Black Rock because it's this big giant black rock uh, that jets out of the ocean, and one side's the public beach, and the other side's the beach of the Hilton, right? If you go around the jetted rock, rugged rock, and so we get to the almost the edge of the rock, and my girlfriend at the time was ahead of me, and she's like, "Okay, we go there. Let's go back." So she went back, and we started going back, and as I'm going back, I'm like, "Fuck, I'm tired." I'm tired. I don't usually scuba dive or whatever the fuck. I mean, snorkel and all that. And I was getting tired, and I finally got so tired that I had to tread water. And the only thing I could do was go to the Black Rock, and and the tide was picking up, and it was kind of like throwing me against the rocks when I was trying to steady myself, right? And I was getting more tired and tired, and it was throwing me against the rocks, and these rocks had like coral rocks and stuff on it, and I felt like I was getting like thrown up against it, and but I had to make it back because if I and my girl at the time, she was already on land, you know, and we were way out there, man, and I was by myself, right, and I started to panic a little bit, but a lot, and I didn't know what to do, what I was gonna do, and it was funny. Right when I was like having like an extreme anxiety attack, I looked under the water and I saw a turtle. I saw my first turtle at that moment, and it literally snapped me out of that bitchness anxiety, and it got me. I got my bearings together and was able to, chug along the side of uh, the Black Rock without getting thrown. Methodically chugged along until I finally went around. I didn't go back to where we started. I went around the Black Rock and made it to the other side of the Hilton. And when I finally got it out of the water, I saw people like staring at me, and I was like, "Why are you staring at me?" and stuff like that. And I was just happy to adrenaline to be out of that experience. I thought I was maybe gonna die. And then I walked into the hotel lobby of the Hilton, and I looked down. There's a trail of blood. My knees were fucking shredded by coral. Yeah, that's what they were looking at me, and not just because I was handsome. I'm handsome, but the blood was like gushing out my knees and my legs, and like it was, dude. It took like over a year for the itching to stop, even though I cleaned that shit out because that's living bacteria in that coral, you know. And yeah, that's those near death experiences like that will really make you appreciate life and whatnot. Where we at? I had to go. Okay, we already did that one. One time I sneezed after breaking 2 ribs. Oh shit, that'd be painful. Godheart Guardian, crying when you meet the divine is uncontrollable. You don't have an option when you meet with that much unconditional love. You just burst with love and tears. Right, that's the only thing you can do. We've had similar experiences like that with DMT, where when you come back, because all you want to do is just you start crying and hugging the first person you see. OTW, yeah, those are the worst. Those Alexander talking about the toothache. Jack Talca, does anyone know how to reach Paul and Slave? Alumatami is begging for his attention. Fuck Alumatami. Yeah, that is. He's actually seems like he is having a good trip. He's walking the streets like a good homeless person, showing you what the what Vegas looks like and whatnot. Too bad it's a shitty ass cheap camera, not like a 4K, which only actually costs a couple $100. With the proper mount or gambit, you can like really you can have one of those channels like where that shit looks like a damn um, Scorsese film. It's so clear, right? But I guess when you're broke, um, or don't care about quality like that, it doesn't matter. But I don't know where he is, man. For all I know, he could be sucking on a tailpipe. Um, Shout out to Divine Spark. Divine Spark. I've heard myths that their mouth is closed. They're in peace. Oh shit, my mom. I don't think my mom's mouth was closed. I had to close it. So, fuck. Wish she passed away. Yeah. Hopefully she has peace. I have a feeling she stuck around me and my brother because I was 23. My brother was about 12 or 13. She was still watching over us. Part Native American. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Carlos Castaneda and his stories. Jack Taka, not to distract, promote elsewhere. Please forgive me. No, you're good, bro. It's funny. I mean, that's panel lore. There's always a space for it. This is the NPC, official NPC Awards panel versus channel right here. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. I'm just making sure around people I actually enjoy being around and thinking about more than I don't. Because I don't know how you do it, Jack, but like a lot of these people, man, oh man, they really are toxic. You know, we all have our toxica moments and toxico moments, but they seem to me perpetual generators of toxicity, and they stand out even more toxic because you are a beacon of purity. So yeah. Anyway, not anyway. Alexander said, I met Timothy Leary once in Tampa. Was an interesting character. I bet, man. Was he talking a mile a minute on that cocaine, on that elevation of consciousness? I love his little pet book, Your Brain is God, and how he would take computers and try to overlay them over the human nervous system, right? All these consciousness chambers are unlocked into greater and greater realities. Timothy Leary is definitely a legend, living legend. It's up to Jack. G at flows. Who's G? I don't know. Jerry Rice, yeah, in Montana. Yep. Rice in Montana. The San Francisco treat. Amazing duo. Amazing duo. Jerry Rice was so good at catching those footballs. His dad was a bricklayer. Shout out to the great Brick on YouTube. He's a bricklayer too. Jerry Rice would catch those bricks in Mississippi, when his dad would throw it to him. Got the good hands. Eagles won the Super Bowl, right? Philly fan. Maybe that's what Paul and Slave is celebrating that. Eagles, man. Eagle is the highest version of the Scorpio sun sign. The second, the mid version. It's the Scorpion, Eagle, Phoenix. The Eagles fly, according to Mayan myths, they fly high because they don't take themselves too seriously, even though they think about serious things. And they'll fly alone most of the time, but they'll fly with brothers and sisters if they're going the right way. And thanks for flying with me here. Diaz. He's a funny character. He had to kick him because he kept harassing Lindsay. He's a mess. Who's DS? Divine Sparks? Oh, she's saying Divine Sparks. Okay. She's talking Divine Sparks. Okay. Yeah, I saw somebody harassing Sherelle Snow. Was it Imperious? Yeah. Yeah. So where's Lindsay at? She's probably at Flows. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Not blah, blah, blah. So let me put this, so let me give your thoughts, because we will be going to the movies later tonight. You'll see Den of Thieves 2, maybe. That's the worst, yeah. Look within, yeah, Tommy can eat a big old bag of potatoes, yeah. And not the good red one, the red Irish ones either. The ones with the warts in them. Raw ones, yeah, for sure. That's disgusting. Looks like soap. They're definitely still with you. Yeah. At least they come by every now and then. I think my grandma, the Gemini, just left. A shaman told me she just left. She bounced when she passed on to other things, right? Maybe because she was a Gemini, she was a dancer, and later on in life, her leg amputated. First above the ankle, and then below the knee, and then above the knee, because of diabetes. So, and she still danced at my cousin's wedding in the wheelchair. So she probably wanted to go get her groove on, jitterbug or whatever they used to do. Hey. OTW Live, winner of the NPC Awards. In chat, hashtag NPC Awards 2025, January 4th, Sunday. Be there or be unaware. Yeah. Thanks, OT. Gotta get your nephew, huh? Get him some shunda. What a good auntie. Joe Ma, auntie. This is a good work right there. You can watch someone feels a little emotional, watch their loved one sleep. It's like, man, it's amazing. Yeah. Tom said it's creepy too, huh? We'll see you again, Divine. Yeah, we see men crying. Men with beards crying. That's a meme, right? Men who cry.
So many men don't cry, Joe. You know that.
They do, I think.
I don't think they do.
No.
Well, maybe they don't, but I just don't think they'll allow themselves to. And I put myself in that category. Like, it's really hard for me to cry.
Well, I cry a lot for like things that make me happy. That's
Really?
yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, I cry for people. I cry when I'm happy for people. I don't like weakness, but I don't think crying is weakness. I think it's weak to not want to cry. I think it's weak to not want to embrace the full spectrum of life, you know?
Right. That's what I was saying earlier. Take advantage of this full spectrum, all right. Don't be crying. Gets in the way of you getting your present moment activity get that it gets in the way of that. You know,
life is filled with beautiful things and amazing things, and it's also filled with horrible things. Like, they're all there, and to deny that, I think, is to deny reality. It is, and that is to be delusional.
I'm seriously turned on by men crying. I love it. Can I really put that out there? The one time my ex-boyfriend cried in front of me,
you got hot.
I was blowing him while he was like still, like sniffling, like.
God damn.
Still, his tears were like hitting me on the head. So many men don't cry, Joe. You know that.
Funny.
They do, I think.
I don't think.
That's funny. That's funny. Like, if a man was crying, like, I've heard stories where people, they cry, man. Like, they lost their business, man. And they started crying. And in that moment, you know, or extreme sadness, it's funny when someone comes with a joke, a well-timed, strategized joke or something like, you know what? I'm one of those women that hate men to cry, you know, but then they do it in a jokey way. That might snap you out of your sadness for a second. Yeah. This life is fun, man.
The only thing that will hurt him if he cries in front of me. I lose respect if a person cries because I don't know how to react towards that. It's like, you're crying. Oh, the only thing that will hurt him.
It's like my wife was telling me when she graduated college or high school, her dad gave her a hug or said that he loved her, and he never said that to her before, and she felt uncomfortable. Whereas my mother would love bomb me, would always say that all the time. Yeah.
Has a man ever cried in front of you?
Yeah.
And what was it about?
Dumping him.
So how did you feel in that moment?
I just felt like it was time to dump the trash.
Has a man...
Damn. Yeah, that's one of these things. That's his problem. It's like those people who say, I'm sorry about your... I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That's their apology to you. I'm sorry I made you feel that way. All these red pill guys.
What should a man do when he feels himself getting emotional?
I'll tell you, there's plenty of times where I think a man shouldn't cry, particularly, and maybe I'm a little bit more traditional about this, but when it's time for a man to be a leader, especially in a family situation or when his woman's around, I don't think you should be crying in front of your wife. Sorry, don't. Not popular. Don't care.
What should a man...
It's true. I mean, like I said, if you're a leader, you're the husband, you got things to do. You know? Yeah. I don't know if my son's seen me cry before. He may have if he's paying attention. I get some weird shit. Like, I can watch like a movie or something nowadays and totally get into it and feel verklempt. You know? Yeah. Like I was watching what was I watching the other day? I was watching the Corner, which was the book, which was a HBO miniseries about the life of an addict and their family in Baltimore. And bro, that hit me, man. Yeah. I got a little teary-eyed, man, watching that. It's a real shit, man. We got a guess. Yo, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, I've been meaning to, but I've just never had time.
Yeah. Good timing, man. Good timing, miss. So, your comment was great about. I'm paraphrasing. Kind of, people make you feel uncomfortable sometimes if they were to cry when they're happy. That's actually happened? You've experienced that before?
Yeah, especially if it's like out in public. Like if you're by yourself or with like maybe one other person, that's fine. But there's people who like cry at every little thing. And those people kind of make me very uncomfortable because I feel like they're oftentimes just wanting attention versus like truly emoting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there could be a certain like a victim hoodness to that someone who does that a lot, mixed with a little bit of main character syndrome.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Or what about these when people like you see them on the social media influencers, something bad happened or something, but they have to get the camera and film
that's
themselves.
that's just weird. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Like
weird.
that's the last thing I think of when something bad's
Yeah,
happening. Oh, let me get the camera and film this. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I don't want evidence of that.
yeah.
It's kind of like a lot of streamers being drunk on their panels or something. It doesn't make sense. Like I've gotten drunk before, but I really am glad that most of the times it was before Gen Z, you know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because I have to. I'll be transparent. When I used to stream on what's it called, Blog Talk or Talk Shoes is 2013, and there was times where I felt like I needed to have that curse juice a little bit every now and then, or smoke weed to
Yeah.
feel, to get loose so I can do the broadcast. However, it actually made me feel more anxiety. To be,
Right.
yeah, maybe at first I was cool, but then there was a point where I was being overly critical of myself in my head. Instead of being present for the moment.
Well,
Yeah.
there was one time I think I was on a panel at Flo's and I'd had a margarita or something, and I think I was getting a little feisty because tequila makes me feisty. And
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, I probably need to go now. Bye, y'all. Because
Yeah.
I
You,
mean, it
you
was
you
getting
policed
good.
yourself.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
policed
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, don't drink that much, but I can appreciate wanting to or needing to in order to get up, like you said, the courage juice to get on. But yeah, like when you're too far gone, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want that on record.
No, it's bad. I've seen. Make sure I've seen on flows. I don't know if it was Crispy or someone else, but they were wasted, man. No, well, you're not supposed to say this now. This term, white girl wasted, in the panel verse now, right?
Oh crap, you went there.
Oh no, no, but they were shit faced. They were shit faced, and it was
Yeah.
bad because even Cynthia was telling them like, you're gonna listen to this tomorrow and probably regret it, but they kept going. It was
I
good for
love
us to listen
Cynthia.
to.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that before. And I just
yeah,
feel bad for the next day, you know.
yeah. I have to say though, that tequila, that's definitely something that in my 20s I really used to have a relationship with when I went out. I used to, that was my thing. I think just because I was, I'm part Mexican, I felt like,
Cool.
this is, I could take this, I could use it. But there's definitely difference between tequila and having beers. It puts you on another level, huh? The tequila.
Yeah, I can't do beer because I've got a gluten intolerance, but tequila, every time I've done
Mm.
it, I feel like it's weird. I feel like the next day $1 million. It's probably my time in Texas. I just fell in love with it and the Mexican culture, Mexican
Hmm.
Tex-Mex culture, and
Yeah.
I love tequila. Yeah.
There's something to be said that if it doesn't affect you the next day, it kind of reminds me of like DMT, how out of all the drugs and psychedelics, it leaves your body the quickest. You get back to baseline, yet it takes you to the highest point you can get, um, and then it leaves your
Mhm.
body. That tells me maybe like the tequila too, that maybe it's because it's more natural for your body. So
Yeah.
maybe tequila, in terms of these other alcohols, aren't as uh it's more benign, I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yes.
me,
Yeah.
it's great. I have the opposite effect of most people. I think they get really embarrassed with tequila, but yeah, I just get a little feisty.
Feisty, yeah. Wait, but
Yeah.
feisty, but are you a mean drunk?
Depends on how you ask.
Okay.
I mean, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm just like I don't have a filter, and so I say what
Yeah.
I think, but I usually say what I think anyway. I'm just less inclined to care when I've a little tipsy. you know, where I'm just
Yeah.
kind of, whatever comes out, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it probably depends on like who's around too, if they deserve it. Because maybe you're like me in the sense that, the most part, I wish people well. However, if you're not on my good side, good luck to you. You don't want to see me
Right.
drunk. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I've started a couple. Like I guess the last time I was like really a little too plastered, there was this guy who was stalking my friend. We went to another bar, and so the
Mhm.
dude's like 6'4". I didn't care. They were divorced, and so I just got up in his face. I just didn't think about it. I was like, "Quit stalking her. You guys are broke up. You followed us to the
Yeah.
third bar." But normally I'm not like that. I'm just, more chill and do my own thing, but I got tired of him harassing her and making the night uncomfortable.
Damn, you forged some courage there to go against the 6'5" guy. That's
I
pretty
just didn't think
impressive.
about it, I'm just like, well, if you're so much of a weasel that you have to keep stalking us, then you just confronting you is probably going to make you back down because you're a
Right.
coward.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the way I am in reality as well. I'm probably a little bit more abrasive.
Yeah, you're on steroids basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about courage. It's like the real people that have courage. It's like they can't tell you where it came from. They just do it, and I think that's what it is. They're just in the moment, and they're doing what's needed. Whereas a lot of us, or some people, they'll just overthink things and be cautious and miss their moment to be courageous or stand up for something at least. You know.
I tend to overthink things, but when my timing is right, I know it, like I'm kind of very Taoist at this point, so I've kind of always listened to my intuition, but yeah, there are definitely times when I've had to muster courage and I'm like, where the hell did that come from,
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't my normal introspective part, so like, yeah.
Yeah, because courage is not you don't find it. I really believe you forge it. Hold on 1 second. Oh shit. I forgot I gotta catch this movie. Yeah. I got an appointment. Wait, we shout out to I didn't say shout out to Truism, Stormcrow. Yeah, you need to get your ass up here someday, sir. Respectfully. You have a pretty good broadcast out there. Yeah. Good to see you. Um make this a habit, Miss Alexander, okay? Come up here
Sure.
again. Yeah, I appreciate. I'm sorry, I
Next
got a
time
running gun real quick.
we should make a date to do astrology. We're gonna go over
Oh,
that
that's
sometime.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. This is an auspicious day too, with the moon, full moon tomorrow, and at least over here in Leo. Uh, mm. So, fuck it. Want to do tomorrow
Tomorrow.
or next week? Let's do next week.
Let's do next week. I gotta get through a
Yeah.
funeral this week. So yeah.
Oh,
I
you
think
too. Sorry for your loss.
yeah, I had one last week too. So
Yeah.
I'm born in the year
Yeah.
of the pig. So it's like you said, the snake is not so far a great year for me.
And it's a great year for me.
Is
Hey,
it? You got
I'm
funerals
the year of
too,
the
though.
snake. I'm the
I
year of the
know.
snake. But it
That's
was
one of my
weird.
best
Even though it was
friends.
a
Yeah.
funeral, it was still we had a great. I mean, even though it sounds weird, we had a good outing because we had some
That's
nice dinner,
good.
and we had good conversations with relatives we haven't seen in a while.
That's
So
great.
that was
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mama's year of the pig, so I mean, even though they say they're not supposed to, opposites do attract. I surely know that. So
Yeah, no,
I
I've
think
had some
we can have
really
fun on
great
the stream.
friends. Yeah. That I like the year of the snake people. I don't know. The monkey year, I'm not so fond of, but they're kind of
Mm.
like all over the place. But
All over the
yeah,
place. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, have a good night and enjoy your
Hey,
movie.
absolutely. And how do we contact? You have
You go through Flo, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Flo's got my number if you want to reach out to
okay,
him.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay.
If not,
All right.
do you do Discord?
No, I try to stay off that. That's so
Okay.
toxic. But I guess I probably should. That's not toxic anymore, I guess, from what I've heard. There's a lot of people who
My
connect on
shit's
there.
not toxic anymore if it ever was.
Okay,
So
cool.
just in case you ever want to do that, here's my link.
Okay.
Here's my link real quick. And if not, I'll contact Flo, or you'll see. Anyway, you'll see it. I'll probably put something up for like next Tuesday.
Okay.
And I'll put your name on that shit, so you'll know the time and all that, and we'll talk astrology and whatever else. Sounds good.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Around the same time?
Around the same time, yes.
Yeah, that works great.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Take care.
And just one more time before, so I can keep you here even longer.
Sure.
Here's the link right here to the Discord if you need it. Okay.
Okay.
All
Screenshot
right.
it. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
We'll see you.
All right.
We'll see you next week. Okay.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
All right. Appreciate you. Peace.
Sure. Take care. Peace.
Thanks. Yeah. So yes, that was fun. Yeah. I'm not crying. Almost crying with joy. No, that's being melodramatic. That was cool. I always love making new friends, and Miss Alexander has been a great supporter, especially recently. And yeah, so we'll do we'll do our astrology build next week. With that said, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm about to go see Den of Thieves. Enjoy the movie. Appreciate you, fam. Everyone to come by. Yeah, it is nice to hear Ashima on the panel. That's a treasure, right? I love that when people come up who usually don't come up. So yeah, let's do this next week. And check out this video I made, this outro. It has some interesting. I didn't really say anything about the Mel Resto shit, but I have some visuals here. Tell me what you think. And hope you like Huey Lewis. And peace. Stay stellar. I love it. Divine Spark with the last words. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that one.
Huey Lewis in the news. Great stuff. I just bought it on my way here. You heard it?
Never. I mean, I don't really like singers.
Not a big music fan, huh?
No, I like music. Just Huey's too black sounding for me.
Teaches